This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You've got to ask yourself whether reality is a dream or if you are dreaming reality. We are all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration. You are the master of reality's creation.
Welcome to Creating Reality. It all happens here in the live stream of consciousness. Now let's welcome your host of the moment, Michael Zinn.
Yes, welcome to the moment, and I'm your host of the moment. I knew that he said that. I made that introduction, but I think it's so cool to be here to welcome you guys, my family, who just always show up here when I do. I just show up and magically you guys show up, and it's just amazing. So welcome to Creating Reality, the live stream of consciousness. It is February 19th. And here we are. I'm going to create some reality. You guys we're going to co-create some reality because you guys showed up with intention too. Let me see what's going on here with my comments and stuff. I think it's been taking a little while for the comments and stuff to come up. So if you said hello, and I don't see it, but I see a bunch of people out there. So hello, and welcome. I just want to talk about creating reality for a minute because that's the theme of the show for the year. I realized last year you guys were watching when I went to Costa Rica and spontaneously got married, that I realized that I was creating my own reality. And ever since then, I feel blessed every moment to just know that I'm really in charge. I'm driving the ship, and that has become kind of the mission of the show, to let everybody know how easy it is to smile and move forward and take a deep breath and just create your own reality, right? Every endeavor, whether it's a success or a failure, is growth. It's you moving forward. If it's a failure, you're still moving forward through it and you're learning from it. If it's a success, you're celebrating it. But either way, you should celebrate it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get the show going. You guys know, the comments are popping up now. I see, here we go. I see me and my shadow out there. What is up? I see Ninja Kitty, hashtag live. Guys, don't forget, if you're here, type in hashtag live, or just type in a hashtag in the comments, because if you type a comment, you tickle the algorithm and you tell them that something's here and that it should smile because it's feeling tickled. But I see Lynn also out there. What is up, Lynn, from the Sacred Spiral Network? Shout out to the Sacred Spiral Network. Evelyn is out there as well. Beautiful souls, my family, my soul family. I love it. Let's just get the show started. You guys know the routine. If you don't, if it's your first time here, welcome. But if you've been here before, I like to sage the space, clear out the space with some intention, using the bowl sage here, the beautiful sage with the flower of life inside and outside. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths together. So we're going to go in through the nose for about 3 to 4 seconds. We're going to hold it at the top for about a second. And then we're going to let it out. At least that's what I'm going to do. And when I let it out, I push it out. I go, whoo. Sometimes I go, whoo. But I'm going to let out all the energy. But actually, I just realized as I was giving you those numbers, those are my numbers. If it's 4 seconds for you, if it's 5 seconds, do your own thing. But let's do it together. Let's take 3 breaths, feel them intentionally together, let them out, and let's do it together. Here we go. In through the nose. Release, feel it go. In through the nose again. Up at the top, take a hold, and then release. One more breath. Breathing is fundamental. And it's fun. And it's mental if you intentionally do it. I don't know if you hear Sage. She's still going. I don't like to put her down until she stops, just out of respect. She's ringing and doing her thing. All right, she stopped. I'm going to put her down. All right, guys, thank you for indulging me in the 3 breaths. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Evelyn is live and very much alive and excited for my guest, Brenda. So my guest, Brenda Lee, is her website is Attuned Guidance. She calls herself the Heart-Mind Navigator, which I love. And I kind of love some of the verbiage on her website. She's a conscious creation coach. And I love, she says, I invite you to break free from limiting beliefs and remember who you truly are. I love that so much because I think when you hear that said, I think you realize that you have limiting beliefs. I know for me, I did. I never even thought I had limiting beliefs until I heard that said out loud. So even that idea, I think, starts to break you free once you hear it. And you're like, oh, wait a second. Something that I believe could be limiting. The next thing she says is her mission is to inspire you to release the confines of your identity and embrace your authentic self, empowering you to become the true creator of your life and transform your dreams into powerful realities. Yes, yes, yes. That's what the show is all about. So welcome to the live stream of consciousness, Brenda Lee. How you doing, Brenda?
Hi, Michael. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I'm excited that you said yes so quickly when I asked you. And just briefly, I want to tell everyone the quick little story of how that happened. I was subbing for Kelly Brickle at the Sacred Spiral Network. She's usually the one behind the scenes, producing the show, manning all of the comments and everything like that. And she couldn't do it for Donna Bond's show. So she asked me to do it, and I stepped in, and I just sat back and watched Donna Bond, who's amazing. She's been on the show, and Brenda Lee just pontificate over everything, and it was just such an amazing energy to just be in the presence of, and again, the message of creating your own reality and manifesting yourself into your best authentic self. And the limiting beliefs things. I love the conversation. So welcome and let's have our own wonderful conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Heart and Mind Navigator. Tell us about that. What's the basis of that phrase? I mean, of course, I think everybody immediately feels something when they hear that, but let's hear where it comes from, the intentions that you're putting out there.
Yeah, for me, the Heart-Mind Navigator it was my own journey through my own egoic mind, traveling into the truth of who I am, which is stored within my heart mind, within my heart. Mm-hmm. And I had to go through the awareness of my trapping of my own egoic mind and witness it for myself, and then choose to start dismantling it. Mm-hmm. And as I started traveling out of my egoic program, the matrix, mm-hmm. I started hearing, I'd always been tapped into the heart mind, but I was starting to hear it from a different perspective, a different awareness. Mm-hmm. And this was my awakening, and I started dismantling. And the more I dismantled the mind, the more I could hear the soul's voice, the truth. Mm-hmm. And so I have a really good ability to see where people are trapped, and I can show them in their mind where it is, and I let them see themselves. And then I drop them into here where the truth is, and I teach them how to listen to their own answer, because it's all happening within us. Mm-hmm. But we've got to tap into what part is bringing our attention. Is your awareness always in your mind all day? Mm-hmm. And can you bring it out of your mind and practice to drop into the heart of the truth, to hear the soul's whisper, the heart mind? Mm-hmm. And so my spirit team gave me that.
I love it. I love it. So it's kind of a reference to ego a little bit, and your own story is breaking free of that.
Yeah,
I was,
when we're breaking free, it's the constructs of the program in the mind. It's running in the subconscious. It's 95% of you're just doing it all day automatically. And
right.
so you have to learn how to catch the program.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Right? And so
Do you remember the experience what you said you know, the experience of coming into awareness of it and what that was like?
of coming into awareness of what?
Of that you were living in your mind,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, I was
what was the definition? How did you say, "Oh, wait a second. This is coming from here."
yeah, the definition of my own experience of my awareness that I was living fully in my mind and not authentically and not criticizing it. I was in a grind, I was in a career, I was achieving is I
Mhm.
just said there has to be more after you achieve things and make money and buy things and you've done that for, 40, 45 years. Isn't there more? Can't there be more?
Right.
I was seeking depth within myself. I didn't even know what that meant.
Wow.
I just knew that it wasn't working for me anymore.
I see. Okay. Okay. So it wasn't so you didn't necessarily come from a place of unhappiness.
Well, I thought that I had happiness, but I
Mhm,
wasn't really touching it. I was buying it and
mhm,
playing in it, and it was temporary. But
mhm,
I
mhm,
was
mhm,
seeking something that I felt within me that I couldn't touch. It's really
mhm,
hard to label it. I just was
mhm, mhm.
missing something. I wasn't sure what it was. And
Right.
that led me to start questioning everything that I was doing in my life and questioning each person that was in my life. Why were they in my life? Do I bring them value? Do they bring me value? Are we growing together? Are we expanding? I just felt alone in all my
Mm,
relationships, right? Because
mm,
truly I was alone within myself. So it was
mhm,
just projecting out for me
mhm,
to see
mhm,
myself. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think for me, self-love, you know, and even understanding what that meant. I don't even think that a lot of people understand what that means. You know, there are kind of some surface definitions, right? You know, and like you said, like buying things. Oh, I'm treating myself nicely might feel like self-love, but it's not that inner self-love, I think that you're talking about. Um,
Yeah, it's temporary, right? Everything's
yeah,
temporary, right? And when you
yeah.
have it within, it's yours, it's mine. Nobody can touch
Mm,
it. I can't even express it. I
I
can
love that.
see glimpses, but you won't see it, feel it, and experience the way I do. You're not supposed to. So
Mm,
it belongs to me.
I love that.
And once you have that, that is your peace. That is your love. That is your navigating point to all the decisions that you make moving forward. Because when it
Hmm.
takes me out of this, it's not for me. It's a conscious choice that I'm going to give up this to go over here for this person or this
Right.
situation, this job, right? It's just wonderful to be tapped in. But it took me 49 years to tap in to truly honoring that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I think it took me at least that
Oh,
that
right?
much
Good.
time
It's
to
okay.
you know. And I mean, you know, you hear it your whole life, right? Like don't say you're old, say you're wise, right? I think it's true. I don't feel old. I feel wise. I feel like wow, you know, I can look back and see how I was navigating the world differently and how it affected me, and I can see, you know, the big thing now I've been saying a lot is I say on social media because I just find it such a weird battlefield, right, of energy. I say don't be angry, be happy. And it's a choice, right? Just trying to shed some light. And I do find people push back, right? And I think I find people push back validly, right? Saying, no, I think you do need to process anger. And I agree. I do think you do need to process, you know, you don't want to hold back any emotions. Emotions are the flow. And if something makes you angry, you should certainly process it. But when I say it, I'm talking about the choice of the essence of who you are, right? When you wake up, be happy, not angry. I'm not saying like don't be angry at something that might happen in a moment.
Well, yeah, and if you have an angry moment or a thing in your life, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You still have a million other things to be gratitude for, but we have to express our emotions freely.
Yeah.
And the only way you can get there is to stop the self-criticism first.
Mm.
When you stop self-criticism and self-judgment, you will find so much freedom within yourself to express that you'll no longer require the outside validation.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
just be more able to express this and go, it's just my soul wanting to express it. And if I don't express it, it's going to stay stuck in my body and wait for another time. And you'll be triggered or something will happen and it's got to come up and out. It's energy and motion.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
So,
okay for us to get mad. Just don't hang on to it.
yeah, yeah. So that actually, I'm kind of going with the flow, right? So when you were saying that, I was kind of wondering, like, what's the state of the people that are coming to you? You're saying, hey, I'm going to help you find your authentic self, and someone feels drawn to that. I think I need to find my authentic self. So they're drawn to you. What state do you usually find people are in when they come to you?
Yeah, well, usually people don't call me and say, I want to find my authentic self. Usually they are interested in understanding why everybody in their life triggers them.
That's
Right?
that's great.
And so that's always the funnest because, it's really fun to teach somebody that what's within them surrounds them and that
Hmm.
it's just a projection out for them to see themselves. And, a lot of times people don't really understand that until they witness it for themselves.
Right.
When somebody's being triggered, there's a gift. Something's happening in the cosmos. There's somebody there letting you see yourself. But if we're pointing at them and trying to fix them, change them, and blame them, we're missing our part in the double mirror, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You always see yourself in another if you're in self-awareness. But in that
Yeah.
moment, you're in it, it's thick, it's icky. It's like, why? You've got to let the energy flow and take your time. It could take hours, it could take weeks or months,
Right.
and you have to have the awareness after the trigger came up, after you feel it in your body. What is it showing me? How could this person's words affect me?
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
control over me. So a lot of people come to me to try to understand the other person. How can I get my family member to change? It's like,
Right.
no,
Right.
no,
Right.
you cannot. You change yourself. The change is within. Become the change you want to see within your own reality. And they'll either adjust or they'll leave and get mad for a little while and go away. But you've got to create what you want. It's your script. You're writing your
Yeah.
script. And they're offering you a gift to see yourself. If they're not ready to catch the ball and see their side of the mirror, they're not ready for their awareness yet. But you can take your own self-awareness and change yourself. When you do that work, you will see everything shift around you. It has to. It's the anything that you create and ask for must come in. If
Yeah.
you're not open to receive it and you're not open to see yourself, then it's just kind of lingering, waiting for you to grab.
Wow. So I'm I'm going to take this as a sign, okay? And I'm going to ask you a question, um, because I wholeheartedly feel like I know exactly what you just said. I feel like I believe that. I feel like I live that. Um, but can we make this almost like a personal session live?
Sure, go for it.
Um, so I was visiting my mom this weekend in Arizona for her 80th birthday. My family's kind of spread across the country, so I see my mom once a year, twice a year, not that often. Um, I grew up in a family with a lot of love. I am grateful for the way I grew up. I see a lot of families that had a lot of not love, toxic situations, or what do they call it? Dysfunctional families, and I didn't have that. I don't feel like I had that. I feel like I grew up with a lot of love, and I have a lot of love for my mom. Um, and we had a great visit. It was a surprise 80th birthday party. A lot of people kind of flew in from the country, so she was very surprised. And in the last like 2 hours of the visit, I was relaxing in another room, and they wanted to do like a family. They were going to do a game. They do this game called Salad Bowl, um, and they wanted to do it. And my mom came in the room, and she said, "Hey," and I was sitting with my wife. We were just watching TV, relaxing, and she said, "Hey, do you want to come play?" And I said, well, not really. I'm not really a game person. I don't feel like it. And I will tell you from that point to the next couple minutes, I don't remember it clearly because something happened. We triggered each other. I don't want to say I triggered her or she triggered me, but something happened. I think I remember saying to her, you know, I don't really enjoy playing games, and you're making me feel guilty. And then from what I remember, I'm telling you my side of the story. She kind of started mimicking me, going, "Oh, you don't want to play," and you know, and I said, "Mom, we don't need to elevate this." You know what I mean? Because I felt it kind of coming on, and again, I'm going from my memory. Oh, we don't. And she started kind of mimicking me, and so then I responded by mimicking her, mimicking me, like even more exaggerated, right? And I hated the way I was feeling. I was like, I don't like this. This is not me. I don't feel like I brought this on. I didn't understand what was going on. You know what I mean? And, we kind of had a fight, and we had to walk away from each other. And, I left, and we were still, she still hadn't I put my arm around her at one point, and she said, "Have a nice flight," didn't even turn and look at me. And it didn't feel good. And I feel like the residual effects of that since that day, like I've been kind of in a cranky mood, and I would love, I feel exactly what you said. I'm in my head, I'm like, what part of me was involved there? What was the mirror for me to see, right? I felt like I was mirroring her. I was like, you brought the energy and I just mirrored it, but I want to also take accountability, right? And so everything that you just said, I'm sorry for my audience that I'm taking this as a personal, therapy session, but that was my response to what you said, that I needed to bring this situation up and understand it.
Yeah. So first of all, did you have a thread with your mother? Is that been kind of an ongoing thing that's happened?
Yes, I would say that we definitely occasionally, not it's not our normal
So it's
dynamic,
not the
right?
first
We're
time.
not constantly fighting like that, but when we do get into a moment like that, it elevates, and that feeling that I felt, that it was like yucky, like you said, that does get to that point.
Yeah. And so it sounded like it escalated really fast. So the first thing I heard you say is you told her, well, you told her no, but she didn't believe your no. And so she was trying to talk you out of it. And then I heard you say, you're trying to make me feel guilty, but nobody can make you feel anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that using your words, the guilt is within you for some reason pertaining to your relationship in the past
Hmm.
with her that's just unresolved. It doesn't even have to be big.
Well, I don't know if I said you're trying to make me feel guilty or.
Okay, I'm just using your words.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No, I may have said it that way, or I, I guess I probably did say it in some way that put it on her, right? Like I don't need to feel guilty. Or I don't know what I said exactly. Like I said, it just really kind of built
Yeah.
up so
So,
quickly.
Michael, the in between and the story is there, but really the only part that you're responsible for is yours. The
Sure.
only part that you're responsible for is what you felt in that moment, what you said in that moment, and why you got to that point, because the conflict is always within us. And
Hmm.
it could be so small and lingering, and it's coming for you to see your part. And so what
Hmm.
happened was she got triggered, you're triggered, and instead of just letting it lie, there's a mimicking thing going on. It's almost like you're both just mirroring how it's just not even important. It's a game, right?
Mm.
There
Mhm.
didn't seem to be anything there that was really big, but in the moment it feels really big.
Mhm. Mhm.
It feels really big. So without
Mhm.
knowing the
Mhm.
whole history of your mother, is if you felt like this as a child, if you felt like she wanted you to do things that you didn't do, or you disappointed her, or you felt guilty or shame, these things could be a lingering thing that your soul is asking you to revisit, right, in contemplation, to see how could my mother asking me to do a game and me not doing it make me so angry, and now we have divide,
Mm.
right? It's almost
Mm.
like you've got to go in and find why that would even bother you.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can't change her and you can't correct her. You can
Right.
just respond differently next time when that happens.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, and I, again, kind of knowing who I am, I would have thought that I would respond differently. Like I was surprised to have responded that way, right? And I was good, and I just thought, I just chose my words, right? I was going to say I was surprised. I was going to say I was surprised to be provoked to that point, but I didn't. I said I was surprised to have responded that way because I responded that way.
So in this moment, you could say to me, Brenda, next time I see my mother and that happens, I'm going to respond differently. Your mind will say that, but you have no idea how you're going to respond next time unless you witness fully how you responded, your piece, your part, without blaming her and without
Right.
bringing her in the scenario, how you responded. The
Right.
awareness of
Oh.
how you'll respond next time is created in this present moment, not waiting for the next time. Right now, in this present moment, how did I show up?
Yeah.
What did I do? What's my responsibility? And where is it hidden in me? And is there truth in it? Do I feel guilty for not playing a game? You pick it apart and you validate what's validated and you throw out what's not. And so
Right.
your mind's going to be like, I'm going to do it this way, but you won't know that unless you go to full self-awareness this time. And then
Right.
next time you'll respond differently and you will have an awareness that you did it differently. And that's conscious awareness
Yeah.
in action, not the mind predicting to do it,
Yeah.
not how I did it in the
No,
past.
I felt it click. I felt the click.
Right
Yeah.
here,
Yeah. No, as
right
you were
here.
saying some of those words, I felt the click. I felt the click. And again, I mean, I feel like, I do understand accountability, um, in deep ways, creating reality, right? That's the theme of this year, and that's total accountability. That's like, yeah, beyond accountability, like be
On
accountable
me,
and make it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can't hold the other accountable, but we can show them what it looks like to respond differently next time.
Right. Right. And I will respond differently next time. I feel like I definitely understand that. And again, like I said, I feel like going in, I already knew that my actions were my responsibility, but I guess that's what a trigger is, right? It's like that challenge to put that knowledge into action or not.
The trigger itself, it really, so this could have been somebody else that you didn't speak to, and anybody will shake it until it comes out. It couldn't have anything to do with your mother. That's why I said
Right.
without knowing in session a little history, or if it's a friend, if it's a reoccurring trigger, anybody can trigger it because it's within you.
Right.
And when it comes out, the gift is to have an awareness that I am looking at it different from a higher view.
Right.
This
Right.
doesn't come from the mind, and this isn't by questioning how I did it or how I'm going to do it. In this present moment, how do I see myself? How did it feel when I said that to her? Is that me speaking?
Right.
Did
Right.
that
Right.
feel
Right.
good in my body? Is it about the game? What is this about? You question everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that gift stays here so that next time when it happens, you witness yourself doing it differently.
And that's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly how I've been feeling. Like, what happened? Why did I do that? Like, and maybe I wasn't even asking that question, right? Why did I do that? I was just saying, why did that happen?
Bye.
Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I love it. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Brenda. I think you just gave me a free session.
Well, we're all just here to help each other understand, why we're trapped in these mind
Sure.
games that put us in guilt and shame for just showing up who we are and having a bad day. There's
Sure.
no right or wrong. There's just
Sure.
present moment of conscious awareness to do it differently next time. But you
Yeah.
don't practice then, you practice now.
Right, right. Well, I think that's part of why it was so kind of interesting, and why it was so why it stood out so specifically as yucky, because I don't behave like that normally. Like, it's very rare that I am triggered, right? Even to
Yeah,
that
it's not
point.
you.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's
Yeah.
the egoic program that's just
Yeah.
been playing for a long time. And your soul is kind of showing you, do you want to keep re-experiencing this, or do you want to look at it from a higher view? And I'm going to show you why you had to experience it.
Right. Yeah. I think that one. I definitely, and you definitely helped me kind of take a step up on the step ladder, look down at the situation, and assess it a little bit better. Like I said, thank you. Yes. And Kim says we're all here to help each other.
Yeah, no
And it's
blame. No blame on your part, no blame on her part. Just witness, be the witness.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
teaching in it for both of you. She might not be ready to grab her teaching, but she'll get it one day.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So my next challenge is being able to call her and tell her I love her without any of the weight of the ego, right? Like, without any expectations that she's gonna accept that or still be mad at me. However she responds is her, and I'm just calling to tell her I love her, and I just need to know that.
You just show up and be you and allow her to be her, and
Yeah.
allow her the time that she needs to work through whatever she needs to work at without trying to change her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do that,
We
and I
change
feel
ourselves. Yeah, we change
I feel
ourselves. We don't
confident.
change others.
I feel confident about that. I
Oh,
definitely,
lovely. Good.
like I said, I really appreciate it. Um, exactly. And I just wanted to acknowledge some of the comments that were coming through that I was missing because we were so involved. Uh, Lynn says, I find it hard to be a spiritual giant around immediate family. So yeah, sometimes all of my spiritual, like, oh, it's all love, and all of my love, sometimes around family, I'm absorbing some other energies, maybe, or whatever. But again, I'm responsible for how I navigate that moment.
So Michael, what if the only way that you could come to a new awareness next time of how to respond differently than you have in the past is to have that confrontation with your mother?
Mm. Well, what if? I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah. So what if the only way that you could even be having this conversation with me to try to expand your own awareness to how
Yeah.
you respond to anybody in the world is to have
Yeah.
hands-on training with somebody close in your family that you trust, that you can get through? And what if
Right.
you can only see yourself from a higher, different view through that actual perfect divine scenario?
I love it. I love it. There you go. It's all spelled out for me. Thanks a lot, Brenda.
It's
No, I'm just
called, I
kidding.
call it hands-on training, baby.
You know what, and honestly, I'm gonna say I'm not surprised by that or even afraid of that. I feel like that is kind of my philosophy, and it's just sometimes, even the most spiritual of us need to be reminded sometimes, right? Like, hey, you know.
Yeah. Do you want somebody to tick you off if you have a conflict in you and you want somebody to tick you off in the grocery store, or do you want a family member or a friend and you can work through it, right? Either way,
Oh,
you're
that's
going
a
to
good.
get ticked off because the conflict's within you. It's driving around
Right.
with you.
No, that's a good way to look at it. And it is interesting. I do think, in my experiences growing up and, just having different relationships with people, I do think the people that you're closest with sometimes become the most difficult relationships to navigate, right? Because you're so comfortable and, I guess, behaving ways you shouldn't be.
Well, so you could frame it, they're difficult, or you could frame it, they're your biggest teachers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I love, you keep reframing it so nicely. That's great. I love that.
Well,
Well,
I just work with what I can do, not what I can't do.
you know what? And again, I'm gonna say, like, I would like to believe that that's the mindset that I navigate with most of the time. Like I said, it was really a surprise to me to even, the whole visit was great, and it was just the last, all of a sudden, like it just happens, and um, so, like you said,
Yeah.
it was a moment for me to be able to get through something that I need to get through.
Yeah, I still get triggered, but I have an awareness of how to unravel it very quickly to see
Right.
the higher view. And you keep expanding, expanding. It never stops. You're going to always get triggered. It's you're sharpening the response to it
I love it. I
and
love it.
receiving the wisdom as you go along. So conscious awareness only opens through self-awareness. Everybody
Right.
thinks that you're learning something out there. No, conscious awareness is of self.
Big time, big time. I think that's going back to self-love, right? And that being the basis. It's only going to be achieved through an inward thing. It's not anything external. And then I think for me, I think that once I got to that point internally, it helped me navigate externally. Up until this past weekend with my mom. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
kidding.
that weekend was divine. It was her
Yes,
birthday and your rebirth to your new awareness through a trigger.
you're the best.
Treat it as a gift.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I love it. Charlene says, so true. Our soul families are here for in mysterious ways. It's how love looks. I love that, Russ. Thank you for bringing that. Um, awesome, awesome. So, wow. Now I don't know where to go from here because you just seem like you seem so. Yeah, I know where to go from here. You said when we were talking, and I had gone through your website, I started talking to you about the quantum science and all of this stuff, and you said yes, all of that stuff, but I'm a mystic, I'm an oracle. Let's talk about that. Where does that come from? Is that ancient?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely have never felt like I was from this planet, right?
Hmm.
And I'm barely starting to understand how this planet works, but I'm really more focused on what's my piece of the puzzle at this point on this beautiful planet.
Hmm.
And I'm feeling more comfortable because I'm starting to remember why I was here.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm the oracle in me is the one that kind of sees how the quantum works, how the world works, how the matrix works, how the simulation works, right? And the more I'm tapped into it, the more I'm able to sink into my own truth and remembrance. And I sometimes never know what I'm going to say because I'm just fully allowing my soul to light up the path. I know it's already written, and I have the ability to kind of see past things and into things, and I can feel everything. And I know when people are hiding something or lying, and I truly know when they're hurting and when they're in despair. And that's always been hard for me to not take that
Hmm.
on. And so yeah, I'm here to unravel my mission of my purpose of why I'm here on the planet. And while I'm doing that, I'm doing my best to share authentically how I unravel my own program, come to my own truth, and express it in service to help those just believe that they can do it for
Right.
themselves. And if you can
Absolutely.
people believe that it's possible because you're not weird and it's okay to be, I change all the time. I don't
Right.
want to be put in a box ever, right? And so if
Right.
people learn they can believe it, that believing turns into knowing. I'm in the
Yes.
knowing stage,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
You got to get a
Absolutely.
little curious. You got to work on your belief system. You got to crack the program that's blocking you. The remembrance comes up naturally. You don't got to work for it. It just activates.
Hmm.
And so, I hold space for people that want to get down to the heart of the matter, and that's truth. And a lot of people struggle with hearing the truth because it's a lot of work, but it's not hard work, it's fulfilling work to know who
Hmm.
you are so that you're not looking for outside validation, so that you're not seeking the approval of anybody, so that you're tapped into the quantum field of all that is and ever will be, that rearranges everything with every word I speak. And if I speak negative, it's going to give it to me. And if I speak this way, it's going to bring it up. And so now that I know that, I just swim in the best way possible in the human experience to stay on the path. But when I get pulled off, then I'm in a learning lesson.
Yeah.
And I'm being taught something from a higher view, right?
Yeah.
You'll never stop seeing the same thing you look at every day from a higher view until you have risen so far above that nothing can touch you, that you're literally watching everybody else's movie, everyone's life, without trying to fix them, adjust them, or allow them to be who they are, and adjust yourself. Adjust yourself, and then set some boundaries. You know, when I don't want to play the game, please respect that I'm really not into games, but I would love to go out and have a conversation, whatever it's going to be, right? We're just learning, and it's you're in Earth School. You got to go through it. You got to
totally.
go through it.
So as you were saying that, there's a word that was said to me a couple of weeks ago, and it has continued to pop up, and that word is equanimity. Does that resonate with what you were just saying?
Yeah, I mean that's a really big word, and that could mean a lot. That word came up to you because you felt it, or
It was just said in a conversation that I was having, and then, for me, a lot of times, like words that are like conceptual like that, come into my field and then kind of hang around for a couple of weeks, like it being brought up in conversations or indirectly through the description of what the word means. Like right now, I feel like you were kind of saying a little bit about what it means. So I felt the word just kind of
okay.
visually appear for me.
Yeah. So when things are coming up in your field, so we're going to call this the past. It came up. This is your past, present, future working simultaneously. Somebody gave you a word, or you heard something and it kind of stuck. And then I'm not using that word, but I'm speaking of an energetic exchange, my expression of my experience. And this past version of you, or that person, is coming here in this present moment because you're working on your own awareness and psyche through questions with me. And that word's playing back to you in this present moment. And just like your mother, all these things are helping you show up as a different version of yourself in the future, which is happening right now in this conversation. Right? And so we only have the present moment to have a new awareness of what are all these things showing me? How are they helping me? How can I integrate this? There's too many synchronicities. There must be something here for me to look deeper within myself. And so equanimity is your word. It's working with you, right? That energy is helping you see something here now to get there, not to be not triggered ever again, to get to the next type to do it differently.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who may not know what the word means, because I didn't know what it meant when it was said, I think that's what kind of brought it into my field. Someone said it, and I said, "What is it?" It felt familiar, but I didn't know what it meant. The definition: equanimity is a state of psychological stability, composure, and even-mindedness, allowing an individual to remain calm and centered amid stress, conflict, or intense emotions. Which is kind of, I think, what we're talking about.
And the only way to do it is to do it. And you can't say, I'm going to do it that way next time. You have no idea. You do it now.
Right. Exactly. I love it. I love that came up. Awesome. So, so what is you said you're still trying to figure out why you're here, although I feel like you're doing a lot of it. You are being your authentic self, and in doing that, a lot of people are being helped, and a lot of people are kind of,
we all help each other, right? I'm in an unfolding period. I feel like I've arrived, but I only know what I know today. And I'm so fluid and open to allow my soul to show me what's next, that I'm really, I just worked so hard my whole life to figure everything out and control. I'm just in a flow state. And I just show up the best that I can every day. But I learn a lot about myself every day, and I spend a lot of time alone learning about myself because I talk out loud and I hear what I say, and I listen to my thoughts and I think, whose thoughts are those? And I really, I catch as much as I can, but I'm unfolding every day. Who I am today isn't who I'm supposed to be tomorrow.
Right.
Because every present moment I have an opportunity to see myself differently, change how I look, how I act, how I talk, where I live. The evolutionary process of the soul's journey is to let the soul go and be free and liberated.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so when I say that, I just don't really give too much thought to tomorrow.
Right.
I put things on my calendar, but I'm not really caught up in the future. I try to stay as present as possible with myself to learn and expand and see things higher. And then that can just help me show others how to do it for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that, I think that is something that I've kind of learned over the years too, right? And not that not with any sort of ego, but people have said, "Oh, I just feel calm when I'm around you," and it's like, cool, then hang out. Like you can hang out if that's how you feel. And it was not something that I ever did intentionally. It was just because I was in a space myself, right? I was in my own vibration. And
Yes.
that's what I felt when I was watching you and Donna. Like, it's just, I think as an empath, when someone's in that great space and you can feel it and you can enjoy it. So it was awesome to just kind of sit back and be like, look at these two great people just having a great conversation, and it was like I felt so happy, just being around.
Yeah, so we attract who we are, Michael. And so what's really great about that sentence is that people like, oh yeah, I like her or him, or that's nice and that felt good and that's calm and that's juicy, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
let me say it again. You attract who you are. All your
Yeah.
ickiness, your conflict, your fears, your doubts, your scarcity, you attract that too.
Yes,
The,
totally.
the clarity is in the awareness of I'm a magnet for all that is and ever will be in the entire cosmos. I'm the one doing it. I have to change my magnet, right? But I can only do that through
Yes,
self-awareness because I can't change the other players. I hope they come.
absolutely.
I hope they come and change and adjust and find my radio station. But I'm going. I'm going.
Absolutely. No, and
Right?
that, and
Somebody
I
wants
think
to attract the good, but you attract good, bad, ugly.
absolutely no, and I think this is a testament to that, right? So I just kind of I show up, every week for an hour just with the intention of holding this space and holding this love, and all these amazing people show up, and not only that, I get an hour with an amazing guest to have an amazing conversation and put this energy out into the universe. You know what I mean? Like right now, but we're co-creating this amazing energy. That is a consciousness. Like you and I were talking about Lori Ladd and her book, right? Like this will exist now as an archive of a video that somebody might trip across and be like, oh, what's this about? And suddenly they're resonating with something that we're talking about, and something comes up that they needed to hear. And I just believe that that's how it works. Um,
So Michael, when you said I have this show and I get to show up and I get to have all these great people for every hour, every week, I would like to invite you to realize, to conceptualize that you set up this show, your soul set up this show, yes, to be in service and hold space and have these beautiful soul talks, but ultimately, the way I see the universe is that you set up this show to remember who you are.
mm,
And everybody that you're resonating with on your frequency is showing up as your ancestor
mm.
to sit in reverence and watch you ask the right questions for yourself so that you can get the answers you need to go to the next step of your own evolution.
How beautiful is that? You just know the right words. You're such a charmer.
I just live that. It's what I believe, and I can only share with you what I believe, but you have to feel that for yourself, and you
Oh,
have
I
to,
feel it.
so I know that Everybody in my life is helping me remember who I am, even if they choose to stay asleep and stay stuck, whatever these little words we want to put on people to describe them. I know that every single person I've ever come in contact with my entire existence has always worked to help me remember how beautiful I am, how powerful I am, how capable, how unlimited I am, and how worthy I am. I just know it, and I live that, and I embody it. And because I do that, I'm shown that that's really how the entire universe works.
I love it. I love it. And that's where I'm headed. You know, I'm working on that same philosophy, and I I invoke those same thoughts and energies, as much as I can. And because of that, I feel the benefits of it, right? I feel my life is beautiful. I feel like this is such a great opportunity, right? Like to be here in this moment, and all these other people showing up, just kind of also wanting to be here.
Well, we're all one. We're all one. We're all
Yeah.
one creation, the intelligent spark of whatever you want to call it. And we're all coming back to that. And each person is helping each other, whether they believe it or like it. And I just know how it works. So I really don't take anything personal. I try not to. I do get triggered, but I'm very, very quick to contemplate it, find my thread, pull it out, and just say, okay, I did it again. I'm
I
out.
love it.
Side, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, we're all helping each other. I set up Attuned Guidance for my own awakening first, so that I can hold space from my actual experience, not something I read in a book or that I'm repeating that somebody else did. I
That's great.
speak from the place that I taught myself to get out of it.
I love that. That's great. I love it. And Kim Princess says Brenda is well versed and extremely well spoken. Agreed. I love it. I love the reflection. I love the energy. I love all of that. So tell me a little bit about Attuned Guidance. If someone comes to you, how does that feel? Like, what does it start with? Like questions and answers? I guess you kind of ask them what it is they're looking for, or let me hear in your own words, kind of like.
Yeah, so attuned guidance is kind of like a tuning to our own guidance, the inner wisdom within us. And so if somebody finds my platform, I just always know that they're seeking something, right? And I'm a seeker, and I'm a seeker of truth. And generally, if somebody comes to me, they want to understand more of their own truth, not their family's truth, not the program, not the world's truth, their own. And it's kind of, one of my really good abilities. And so I can do one-on-one sessions, I do group sessions. I've created courses that people can take, at their own pace, not being graded, nobody overlooking their shoulder. They're lifetime courses. And I do Gene Key sessions also on my site. So you could go to attunedguidance.com and you can just kind of look at the platform. And sometimes you just go there and you read something and it will spark your interest and you'll find somebody else. Each person that's offering these services is just trying to hold space. You have a toolbox, and you're going to hear a podcast, then you're going to get a synchronicity like you did with that word that brought, this is a remembrance happening within you. Your soul's working with you, right? And so it's just when somebody's seeking, whatever you're seeking, it's seeking you. And whoever's website you go on and whoever's book you read, it is helping you remember yourself. Read the book as if it's speaking directly to you, not that you're reading the author's words.
I love it.
Right? So we're all just helping the one come back to the whole of the very creation of power that we have. And when we all can do that, we can change the entire reality. I'm doing it. My clients do it. You're doing it. You've made comments that you're changing it. This is where we're coming to, it's our birthright to remember how powerful we are, that we're magicians, right? But if you don't believe it, then invest in yourself and work on your belief system. Find it within you. It's within. And whatever's within you is surrounding you, helping you remember what's within.
Yeah, I love that. So let me ask you a question. You said something that struck me. You said if someone comes to you seeking not you said something about not seeking what is the matrix or anything, but seeking themselves.
Yes.
Um, so when you were saying that, I was almost feeling like if someone says, "Oh, I'm looking for the answer to what is the matrix," isn't that almost like they just don't know that they're looking for themselves, and the matrix is coming from themselves? Like it's like something their own construct. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
I'm just
there's a
responding.
separation, right? There's a separation. And so when you start seeing how the whole matrix works, you realize we're in a 3D world, and
Hmm.
we're going to call this simulation matrix.
Hmm.
And we're living in it, of it, through it. We believe it. We're in fear of it. Where there's these rules and regulations, and we're trapped in it. And so we think we are this mind, this body, this
Hmm.
personality, this identity in this game. And I'm none of those things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I
Uh-huh.
am a multi-dimensional light being, a cosmic creation from the creator itself, whatever you want to call it, source, God, divinity, it doesn't matter. The cosmos, the I, the one that created everything, that's looking through me, of me, for me, with me, right? And so
Hmm.
I'm that
Hmm.
multi-dimensional being, and this is my vessel that I project my belief system, my creation through.
Hmm.
And the
Hmm.
mind is the collective mind. I have an intellectual mind now that follows my heart coherence, my heart, my soul's wisdom. When you
Hmm.
dismantle the mind, you're no longer in the matrix. You see everything for what it is.
Yeah.
So you're living in it, but you're not of it anymore.
Mm.
You're not of it.
Interesting. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
conscious decisions to go over here. You don't keep repeating. But if you're just looking outward at the world and everybody in it, then you think all of your choices are out there.
Hmm. Hmm.
None of
Hmm.
my choices are out there. I
Right.
choose in here, and then it appears out here. I'm a
I love
magnet
that.
that has to appear. And that's a process. It's not just,
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm smiling because I love it, and I feel like in my heart I know it, and I do also feel like I can I manifest. I live that way often, right? And I'm human, so I do feel like there are those challenges that put me in those moments where I forget, right?
okay, so you just said, I know it. And I'm letting you know that in this moment, that knowing that you have is perfect. You're not supposed to know any more know than you know in this present moment.
Hmm.
Because the soul, the minute you claim, I know this, I know me, I'm aware of who I am and why I'm here in this moment, not am I enough? Should I be more a spiritual being? None of that. You drop that facade, right? Of
Hmm.
just being present in this moment with you saying that. Now your soul is going to evolve to another piece because you're claiming the piece that's in front of you.
Hmm. I love that. Yeah.
People think I don't know enough, I haven't learned enough, I'm not doing it like anybody else, I got to do it different. Then the soul goes, I'm going to get you triggered a little more because you're still in the classroom. I'm trying to graduate you over here. When you're just like, I'm perfect, I have clarity, I have a new awareness how I responded today, how I'm acting today, how I show up. I love how I'm showing up. I don't need to change one thing. Your
Right.
soul will show you a higher view, and now you get to evolve. The evolution is through the experience. People want to cut out all the struggles and experiences. Go through it,
Yep, yep, yep. And
right?
and on that note, I'm feeling like even in addition to that, if you have a day where you did something wrong, um, forgiving yourself is almost like that step, right? Being like, okay, I did it wrong, but being aware that you did it wrong and that you're going to get another chance to do it again and do it right.
Yeah,
Isn't
the
that
mind thinks it did it wrong. The soul would never, your soul would never tell you you did anything
right?
wrong, ever, ever.
So,
That's your mind.
yep,
So
yep.
then you
And
got to
and
go to
and
the mind and you got to say, who's saying I did it wrong?
what
Who
do you
said
mean I did it wrong? Right? There is
like,
no
give me
wrong.
the proof. How did I do it wrong? Right. And you got
There
to
is no wrong.
dismantle that because your soul would be like, yes, you had a struggle and you saw that you want to change it. That doesn't mean it was wrong. You just want to do it differently. It's the evolution of experiencing up, down, sideways, inside out. Be free, be liberated, right?
You just opened up another level for me, because, and I've been saying this probably for about 6 months, maybe even a year. I love adversity. I love when I'm in a situation that I've got to get through, because of how I feel when I get through it. Because I know that there's that victory, in getting through it. And I've been saying that for a while. And what you just said explains why. Because I recognize the value of it.
Yeah. And that feeling of victory that you have in you cannot transfer into another. They cannot see it, experience it, feel it like you do. It belongs to you. You can share it, but they have to find their own. They have to want it. They have to crave it.
It's amazing. Amazing. Wow. I feel like you definitely flicked a couple of switches that were off in my brain tonight. So
Good. That's great.
Really,
I love flipping switches.
I really like, I appreciate it. And that's kind of the best way I can describe it, right? Like I had no idea that was going to come up and that we were going to talk about that situation. But what you said, kind of, that's how I responded. I was like, okay, I've been thinking about this, my own responsibility in this situation, and you just kind of opened the door to have that conversation. So perfect. Bravo.
Yeah, Michael, the answers are within us and they come out and back.
Yeah.
There's no answers out there. They're within us. The remembrance is here, the answers. We don't have to learn anything. We have to dismantle what's blocking us from hearing the truth. And then they come out from our projection into the field through people, through places and things, and they reveal themselves to us for us to see ourselves.
Totally. Amazing.
And if you can live from that a little bit every day and practice that, it will be your new normal. And then that's just how you live. And then everything else is just nonsense and it doesn't pertain to me. And everybody's living their movie and scripts, and it's perfect because their soul is on a journey and they get to do it their way.
I love that. I'm going to use that as your the parting words of advice. I just looked at the clock. I realized we're at an hour. I usually like to keep people for too long, but that was a beautiful wrap up of everything that we talked about. Perfect. Totally perfect. You're so much fun to talk to. I definitely would love to have you back again. And maybe even, I know we were talking about no writing down the questions, but I almost feel like maybe a specific subject or something that we can pontificate on, because I love talking to you. I love, like you said, even the things that may not be for now. I felt some seeds being planted for later. So that's great. So thank you so much for being here, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was certainly a pleasure. Thank you, Michael.
I loved it. Awesome. You can see Brenda at attunedguidance.com down at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across. If you felt drawn to her, or you just want to say hello, that's where you would get in touch with her. And I think I have, let me just take a look at my calendar here. I'm opening up my calendar. I'm not sure who I've got on holding space next week. Kelly hasn't given me a guest, but I do have on the live stream next week, Brian Lahr is going to be on, a favorite of some of the people here. Brian is an amazing wizard as well, and a mystic and oracle. I seem to have found my tribe, some people who I really respect and love talking to. So awesome. Yeah. We are creating our own worlds.
Yeah, we are.
Kim Princess says, woot woot. Ninja Kitty, another amazing show. I think it's the 2 thumbs up for Kim, who gives me the 2 thumbs up gives me the fireworks. I forget, maybe it's the peace sign. She likes the balloons. Kim likes the balloons. There we go. There's the balloons, Kim. That's for Kim. There you go. All right, Brenda. Awesome. I'm going to let you go. Although don't go away. I want to talk to you after the credits, but I'm going to play the credits, and we will see everyone next week.
Okay. Thank you so much.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you are dream reality. We're all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment.